Alrighty. Tell you more about the auto trader. I'll tell you what, I don't have all the ins and outs because I didn't code the auto trader, right? But it's definitely our most successful one. Trades on a smaller Renko size, and we have the times basically just to trade mainly overnight, so like 2 a.m. to 7 a.m. So I may change that now on the live stream. We'll put it to like let's see. We'll do 9. I just changed it to trade to 9:30 my time, so another hour. Usually we only have it trade, overnight, as the default settings, I believe. I could have some of the settings wrong myself. I just got sent the algo a couple days ago from our dev. Yeah, I just got it set up, so I could have some stuff wrong myself. But yeah, definitely our most successful algo. Trades smaller Renko size, so it captures smaller or quicker scalps, I would say. Not that the NQ Autotrader doesn't capture big or small scalps. I mean, it's only going for usually 11 points most of the time anyway. But you might probably get more trades honestly on the NQ Autotrader, but I don't know. This just seems to work a lot better. The profit, I think, over the past year, or what our dev has tested, is about 160k in profit, with, I think he said, like a 2500 or 3k drawdown if you're incorporating being careful with news events. And we have a specified I don't know what you call it, strategy, I guess, with the news, and like a specified ATM for news events, I believe he said. And again, I'm still getting the ins and outs of all of it myself. Good morning, everybody. But yeah, it should work better most of the time, to be honest. NQ Autotrader is still going to be kind of the bread and butter. So, NQ Autotrader, MNQ Autotrader is still going to be bread and butter. This is kind of a addition, like if you're making good profits with this, then you could probably move up to this, right? Or obviously keep both, because if this one's working, why would you leave it? But it's not super easy to set this one up. So yeah. And I changed the settings here we'll see if it takes any trades. I don't know if it will or not. It's a lot more picky with trades, so I just changed it. Usually it's 2 to 7 for me. Obviously right now it's 8:30. These are what the settings will look like here, defaulted. Some central time, it'll be 2 to 7 central. Start time to end time, 2 to 7. Econ time you can play with, right? You can play with that if you'd like to run it throughout the day. I think the testing is really just 2 to 7. But I changed it to 9:30, so another hour. We'll see if it gets any trades. This is my first time actually running it during the morning, so again, I could have stuff wrong, so we'll see. But we have the HFT algo kind of panel over here. So you would arm long, arm short, and continuous if you want kind of an automated thing. Okay. And there's lots of different ATMs. So we have custom ATMs here with custom stops, which will include, you know, all that. Then we have more custom ATMs with custom stops built that you'd have to build yourself, obviously. And then another one with custom stops. So yeah. Thanks for your reply to my comment on last video. Could you elaborate more about your thoughts on Polarity ATI? I think Polarity ATI doesn't work for about 99% of people. If you're going to use it, I would say to use it by using fair value gaps or imbalances, like breaker blocks, or, you know, I like ICT concepts with Polarity ATI. So if you're going to use it, I would say, like, if you see a bullish fair value gap, you could arm regression short into it and try and get a bounce out of it, kind of thing. But I don't think anyone gets results like Connor. MNQ to NQ to level. Yeah, that's what I would do, Neil. Yeah, if you're successful with the NQ Autotrader, then I'd say you can, you know, jump in. Can NQ Auto be used on regular bars? It cannot. It has to be used on the Ninja Renko bars, which are free, completely free. So no reason not to just use the Renko bars. Looks like Trader's been working pretty good. Neil just got first PA account with the Autotrader. I think you said it was Neil. Was it Neil? I don't know. There's so many people with it. No, not Neil. It was a different guy. Sorry, Neil. I threw you under the bus. I think it was Picto Wolf. He got his first PA with the NQ bot, just over a month of trading. Pretty good. Neil, aren't you using a different, what am I trying to say? Multiplier? You're doing 322? How is the 322 working? Is it, you feel it's a little safer? MNQ. Gotcha. You know what I could do if you guys want? We could close down these charts and we could backtest, just so you guys can see it working more if you'd like. 322. Because I don't really know if it'll take any trades or not. The strat, it's basically capturing momentum still, similar to NQ, the regular NQ Autotrader. It trades on smaller Renko bars, so a little different that way. I'll do a back test now, just to kind of show you guys what's going on. Give me a second here. Okay. So let's see, what dates should we do? Let's do February. February was on the 0324 contracts, I believe, right? So let's we download that data for February here. You got to make sure you have the correct, you're downloading the correct dates when you're backtesting, because if you don't, this does use level 2 data. February 15th is what? That when something changes? I don't remember all when the oh, gotcha. Anniversary of your restaurant? You own a restaurant? Gotta make sure the dates are all good though, because this strategy does use level 2 data. So that is something that's quite different compared to the regular NQ Autotrader, right? NQ Autotrader is looking at time, it's looking at time, breakouts, momentum, speed, things like that. This is looking at all that plus level 2 and a little more. Friday to rest. Pizza place. Makes sense. Just downloaded the data right now. Then we'll hit up the playback here. So stay in the live. Make sure you guys like the live stream. All right, just makes me feel good. And also, just remember, this is like, I've barely used this yet because I just got it myself after being on vacation. So, like, I could be doing something wrong myself. So, just play along with me here, all right? Play along with me. Okay. Rigged game? Yeah. It's all right, man. Hey, don't stress about it. Okay. Okay, so we'll change this. I always go into strategy. It's an indicator. So that and we'll put that here. See if we have it set up correctly. We'll see. So we are on big size. You can see the P&L up here. I guess I could put P&L right here as well, so it's a little easier to see. Admin business development. For those of you interested, Joey's legit and has both great community. Keep up a good word. It's a great community. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Been trying to build a good community for a long time, so it's not just an overnight thing, right? Uh-oh. I just died. Excuse me. Interested in the method as a group in Discord, how we plan on setting ahead of time. How we plan the setting ahead of time. And if there can be a section in the Discord like next week's plan. Thanks, John. So what we plan on doing, or I'll show you guys, I don't want to mess the playback up because last time I clicked indicator when the playback was going, the whole NinjaTrader froze, but I'll show you once this is done. In the settings of the indicator, we'll I don't have the custom news like ATM or whatever built in to mine yet. But so you can see here, let me pause. You can see here, we had a full win here, right? 13, obviously it's 13 contracts, right? So it's a lot of contracts, but we've had 4,000 in gains so far. It's been 3 days, 4,000 in gains, right? You're not gonna probably have that with NQ Trader. And we've had like no drawdown, right? So very accurate. If it's not accurate, that's because most likely of news, right? News, or you're arming maybe on NFP week, right? NFP, that's, you know, that's a very heavy news event. Or you arm the day before FOMC, maybe it's really choppy the day before FOMC, right? You know, you gotta think like that. You gotta know news events and stuff like that. You gotta know what they'll probably do. Here we got a full win though, and there's obviously different, it takes profit at different spots, right? And here we had a partial win, partial loss, right? So we had a entry short here, we had a couple take profits here, and I believe that's a couple stops up here. So it was a mix, but we still made profit on the trade. So I just wanted to point that out. There's different take profits, different stops. So a couple different kind of ATMs working together. Okay. Kind of lost where I was going. Oh, the news though. You probably should disarm on most big news events. If you want to run the news ATM, you can. And there's a setting in the settings of the strategy, or the indicator, whatever you want to say, where basically it's set on 5 right now. So 5 is going to be your baseline, your default. Got a big loss there. But 5 is going to be your default and stuff like that. And you want to boost that from 5 to like 18 if there's a big news event, right? Right now it's just sitting on 5, so if there is a ton of news events or news that day, or, you know, whatever it is, then, you know, we're getting caught in it with the non-news setting, I guess. But I haven't even tested February yet, so we'll see. It's like there was a big loss over on the other side here, or just this day, but I haven't even opened up my trading view. Let me open up my trading view and look at some stuff here. Some days you won't get any trades, which is fine. Curtis, do you know why ATMs were used rather than the usual strategy method? Just what our dev wanted to do. He wanted to use this panel here, which I like too, but you'd have to ask him for that. Are those of us who are new at this, is there a trial? I don't, well, we already had some people do testing. I know we're going to be releasing it for cheaper the first month. You can see some bad trades there. I haven't tested February at all, so and I could have settings wrong myself, but this is on the version that's not even complete to my knowledge, so yeah, but I won't lie to you guys, right? Down quite a bit right now. Yeah, our dev will know way more answers than me. I'll just say that right now. So I'm just kind of a user, just like you guys for the most part, with all this. So market behavior does Level Up Trader capitalize on? Overnight momentum, from what I know. I haven't got any trades past couple days here, so could have some stuff wrong, but I'm not gonna hide anything from you also. Oh yeah, 9K would, but I wouldn't trade the size on any prop firm. This is very, very heavy size, so I would basically use micros or something compared to this. So, or just I'll put the size way down. So like this is 13 contracts right now, so 13 contracts down 9K is still a lot, but you're using one contract or we'll say three contracts or something. Let's calculate that. So you'd be down like $2,500 if you were on 3 contracts. Also, we are trading through every day, so if there's like FOMC day, I have no idea. If there's CPI, if there's overnight red folder news, that's taken this into account. So obviously, like I'd be much more aware in live time of what's going on, right? I'm not gonna do that right now during the back testing, but why did I opt to use this algo over Polarity ATI? Yeah, well, Moontree said it. Polarity is a scam. I think most people understand that. But yeah, Connor, not really legit. He's not. You can use Polarity ATI in some ways, I guess. Like you could use it like for value gaps and stuff, but yeah, it's just you can't use it how he promotes it, right? The strategy is appropriate for 150K and above. Yeah, I'll have to ask our BB3CS our dev about what he would recommend, because again, I literally got this set up yesterday when I made that video, so I'll have to ask him some stuff, but I don't know, my mind went blank. Oh yeah, you could just lower the contracts as well. Chart flew down wondering, that's a volatile news section. Yeah, it 100% could be. I'm not gonna say it's not. So any overnight red folder news or anything, or anything like that, it's gonna have an impact for sure. And even if we're trading like on CPI morning, because it trades mainly overnight, right? So if CPI comes out on that day, it's probably gonna chop around until we get to the news events, right? So might take some losses there. FOMC day, obviously FOMC can be very choppy overnight, and market's just gonna wait until FOMC. So you have to take into account that. I mean, this is counting all of that. So yeah. And I think I might have some stuff wrong, because our dev said he tested January, February, November, and they were all really good. And obviously this is February. So I think I have something wrong, to be honest with you. And this is quote what he said yesterday. If you take out news days, it gets significantly better because we have a dedicated news strategy built in. So there you go. But he's told me yesterday, January, February, and November all were really good. This is February, so I must have something wrong. What's the RR? There's different profits and stop losses right here. You can see these are in ticks for each thing. But like you could get this down. So like instead of 8 contracts, you could do a 3-2-1 here. 3-2-1, so that'd be 6. You could do a 2-1-1. You could do a 1-1-1. Obviously the profits, the losses might be they might vary, right? If you're doing that, because that's just how it would work. Like, let's look at this. So big loss there, right? Because nothing hit the take profit. So I don't know if there's news or something. What is this day actually? How do we see which day this is? Let's see. February 22nd. So February 22nd, big news events right after this happens. So we can see here, this is partly why there's a big loss here. Unemployment claims, 30 minutes or a hour after this. So I would be disarming, waiting for unemployment claims, and PMI that day. So hence why you don't arm there, right? So we look back to all the losses, I'm sure there'd be some correlation with the news, but we were at like -7 or something, and now we're at -13. So like I wouldn't count that necessarily because of that news, right? So again, we're just testing, trying to point out why necessarily you wouldn't want to trade news, things like that, right? Got to take a lot of stuff into account. Besides, you can't just like leave it on all the time, is what I'm trying to say. Some strategy can filter out news days, be hard to backtest, just news. I would have manually look at trade reports, yeah. Yeah, it's okay, Moontree. I'm just testing. I might have some stuff wrong because I think our dev said it looked pretty good, so that's okay though. Yeah, you would have had a different configuration for news if you were trading news. And again, I just want to point out that I could 100% have some stuff wrong in my settings, so. I'm basically doing this to test myself, so I kind of know when I should disarm and all that, so. But as you guys know, I'm not like Connor. I'm not going to just show you guys a $7,000 profit every single day because that's not reality, right? The market is dumping right now in live time. Yeah, he has some streams. He has some streams up. Here, I'll show you. What was the long one? Testing level up trader right here. This is our actual dev, which this is when he was testing it a month ago, which he's changed quite a bit from a month ago, but he's got some streams up. He's got quite a few streams up of him explaining everything. So I would go look at his stuff as well. You can see his P&L here, 32,000 from his test here. That's pretty good, huh? He also recommended that you should probably use a profit target of some sort. Could be smart. To use a profit target, yeah. We'll do some other months testing as well. I just need to make sure I'm on the right contract, because if I'm not on the right contract, it's going to be completely off. What would I look up here? So let's see. Okay, so that's basically over. So -6, right? But if you guys remember that unemployment claims day that we pointed out, that was like a -7K loss, which you wouldn't do. And I kind of just want to look back and see myself if where the losses were, and I want to check the dates on those days. So that's what I'm gonna do. If it will show the trades and stuff. It should. Unless it's not showing the trades from that far back. Oh, right there. There's one. That was a winner. There's a winner. There's a win. There's a partial. I remember that. It was a partial win. That's when we were up about 4K, I remember. So then we got into some nasty stuff soon. So what was this day? February 9th. Let's take a look. See if there's anything. I don't think there was anything February 9th. That was just a unlucky loss there. So nothing February 9th. There was unemployment claims the day before, but nothing on February 9th. You would skip news even with custom news configures. Yeah, I would as well, personally. It actually is better than the NQ algo. Obviously, this is my first time ever really testing it, so I could have settings wrong and stuff. Let's see what was February 13th. February 13th was CPI. There's another loss there. That's a full loss. So so far we've had 2 full losses. So the entry was at 61.50, so that was about a 11 point stop on 13 contracts. So let's just do that math. 11 points times $20 per point times 13. So that's a 3K loss right there. 3K loss there. That was news CPI day. Hold on, let me move the chat over here. All right. Challenge with the micro would best be around 2K with a sweep and 1K. Yeah, we're just gonna figure some stuff out. Obviously, I probably wouldn't use 13 contracts unless you had a huge account, or let's say you had a 300K account, or well, any account. Honestly, any PA account where you were up quite a bit. Let's just say, so you don't have to worry about drawdown. You know, like I've seen people with a 50K account and their balance is at 100K, so they have, you know, a 50K drawdown. Which would never hit, right? Well, it'd be crazy if it did, but the February 13th there, news, and then here we had a full stop again, so that's minus 6K, and then made a little bit back there, but right there is minus 6K, and that's on CPI morning. That's before CPI news, so I just want to point that out. So now it's making our P&L not look as bad, because we were in the depths there. That's when someone said negative 9K or negative 13K looks pretty bad. But this is CPI day. I wouldn't trade on CPI day. And another 3K loss, so that's negative 9K. Now it's making me feel a lot better. And I'll even show you guys. It says CPI right there, February 13th, which is this day. February 13th right there. So that's 3K losses right there, right? On CPI day. And also, so this is the setting I want to show. In the settings here, the take wait for bars right here where it says 5, this is going to be your default setting at 5 with like no news events. And if there is news, you'd change this to like 18. So if you're going to run it through news with the news strategy, you'd put it at like 18. Okay, so that's 9K in losses on CPI day, which is why I'm trying to prove my point. Don't run on news days, right? So now we're actually in profit if you didn't run on news days, right? This was a partial win and a partial loss, so nothing to worry about there. It's when you get the full losses that'll eat you. Here, let's see. Looks like partial win, partial loss, partial win, partial loss. Nothing really to worry about there either. I'm really trying to find where the big losses were. So this one was a full stop February 19th. I'll just check. Not every full stop's obviously going to be because of news, but February 19th was a bank holiday. So yeah, don't trade bank holidays. There you go. Why would you trade bank holiday when there's less volume and less everything, right? So that's another 3K. So that's 12K of losses so far that were easily avoidable, right? Wins there. This is why you do backtesting. This is why right here. Partial win, full loss there. Let's see. February 21st. Let's check. February 21st. That was FOMC. Okay, so not seeing the need to run on news days. Plenty of opportunities to exist. That's true. Ninja Renko bars generated like regular Renko bars from what I know. Well, not exactly like regular Renko bars, but so this day again, so that's 15k of losses easily avoidable. Obviously there was a partial win here, so like, you know, take into account maybe a partial win here, so maybe you're down 2k on the day or something like that. But still 15k of total loss avoidable. This is FOMC day right here, February 21st, FOMC meeting minutes. Just avoid that day because it could be choppy overnight while you're waiting for FOMC. Here, full wins. Looks like this one is a full stop. Does it entered 26? I don't know. Looks like a stop there. What day is this? Let's see. February 22nd. Oh, that's the next day. So this day, I would probably unarm myself as well. So there was a win here on the 22nd. But I would probably unarm because this is unemployment claims PMI day, which is another day where we went heavy deep red. So you're pushing, you know, 20k or so in losses that could just be avoided, right? Keep fast forwarding. Some wins there on the 25th, and the 25th was, or 26th, sorry. No news on the 26th, and some nice wins there. Another win on the 27th. Win on the 28th. Win, partial win, full win on the 29th. There you go. So I just want to point out, we'll just say it was 15k in losses that were on bank holidays or news days. Red folder like unemployment claims, FOMC, CPI, bank holiday, right? So if you take that out, you're 10k in profit on the month of February, right? So I just want to point that out. Almost all the losses we had, actually, almost every single one was on a red folder news day. So write it down. Write down NFP, write down CPI, write down bank holiday, and write down FOMC and unemployment claims. I don't know if I said that already. Take those out. Now you're profitable 10k in the month, right? And that's obviously with 13 contracts, but I just wanted to, you know, point that out, right? So we'll test January. I know I tested January yesterday in the video I made, but I want to check the news and do what I just did there, just for myself. So we're gonna test January as well. So this is January here. So February, if you take out and throw out the news days, just like Curtis said, throughout the news days, I did. I said you might have some partial wins on a news day. Like I think one of the days we won a trade or a partial win, which would have been like 1,000, 1,500, and then the loss would have been like 3k. So I said we had about 20k in losses total. That's why I just said like 15k. So there was probably roughly 5k. I just estimated 5k of wins throughout those days that we lost. So I was saying at the least it'd be like 10k profit total if you take that, because it was 20k in losses total from news days, and during those news days we probably had about 5k profit in wins as well. So I just estimated that. But I get what you're saying. You gotta definitely keep track of everything. If you change the wait for bars to 7, disable reversal bars or reversal days, all the news day will be green. All good, all good. Oh, I forgot to arm. That's awkward. Let's rearm this. So you gotta make sure you click arm long, arm short. I think I made it disappear. think I made it disappear. Okay. Okay. Yeah, let's go. So, yeah, I did count kind of the news losses and stuff like that. But I completely get what you're saying. So we had about 20K in losses total, and I accounted for about 5K of wins on those days because some of them are partial. A lot of them are partial wins. So about 15K. So 15K of loss loss would mean, you know, it's about a 10K difference. So would have ended around 10K. This is why you do testing, though. This is why you do testing, right? Makes you feel a lot safer and a lot better about your product when you know, okay, just don't arm that day. That's why you lost, right? Very simple. Also, if you guys are in the Discord and you're not following Captain Profit's alerts and his levels and stuff, you really need to. You really need to. Flawless execution against his forecast today. So levels played out really good today for Captain Profits. Definitely should take a look at his stuff. Yeah, I'm gonna do a thorough test on this, and I actually asked our dev to put together a whole spreadsheet of all the months he's testing. So like you can see the profit from each week's or each month total or the losses, because I thought that'd be very useful. So he said he'd put that together. So up 7K. We got our other dev, Scott, in here, who really needs to finish his Newsday kill switch. He's coding a kill switch for Newsdays, which you know, will help completely avoid that really terrible news, right? We had such big losses on the news there. It's just, even with our news ATMs and, you know, all that stuff, it's not even worth arming on news, just because I think it's too risky. It really is too risky. Terry Reeves. Started looking at the market about an hour. Oh, see you, Terry. He's gone. Deleted that message. Yeah. Our devs are really good, though. I mean, HFT Algo's got really, really good stuff. Scott, he's behind the scenes man. He codes a lot of good stuff behind the scenes. Oh, hey Terry. Looks like you just deleted a message. I was trying to read that, you know? Also, guys, I just wanted to point out this trade I took yesterday. Just wanted to point this out yesterday. How beautiful this was. Swept a high here. Buy side liquidity. We formed an SMT, which is basically a divergence between, so NQ took this high from right over here and ES did not. So that's a divergence. We then had a breaker block form from a high, a low, a higher high, and a lower low. So breaker block here. And a fair value gap, which creates a unicorn. And I entered off that unicorn, called that out. Took half position off here because could always reverse. Scaled some at the 50% of this move, the move up. And then I took my last off. Look at this execution right here at 54.75. So 254.75. And what the lowest we went was 52. So I bottom ticked it. And then where'd we go from there? Back up. And then I was just playing around, but back up. So I just wanted to point that out. 94-point trade. And called it all out. It was just so beautiful. It was so beautiful, right? About an hour after news hour. FOMC all members. FOMC meeting minutes, whenever it says FOMC meeting minutes. That's what I would do, Neil. We'll obviously do more testing, but excuse me. So right now we're up about 16K. Pick some losses there. I just want to pause and see which day this was so I can see, because there was some partial losses, but nothing crazy. January 17th. Okay. January 17th was nothing big. Retail sales at 7:30, but retail sales isn't, even though it's red folder, really not a big deal. I'm gonna watch for any big losses from here, and we'll see what days those were, right? I really do think you guys will like this algo though. $19K in profit. Wait, what day is this? Let's check. January 18th. So this was unemployment claims day. So a couple wins there on unemployment claims. Like 2K profit there. So a little bit of profit comes from news. I won't deny that, but in the overall scheme of things, I probably wouldn't run during news. So if you take out what we just tested in February, you were around 10K profit. So we'll have to calculate this, but I know people are dipping out of the stream, which is fine because we're just back testing now, but it'd be good to have this up on the live. Now we're moving into January 19th, which is U of M consumer sentiment, which is red folder, but nothing really to worry about on this day. Consumer sentiment's really not too big. So another $1,500 or so of profit on that day. So about halfway through the month, up 20K. Now there was some of that was news related profit, so say 15K, right? Say 15K. Round it down a little bit. If you guys have questions, just throw them in the chat. And I can always ask our dev too. Like, if you have a good question, I'll just DM them. Because, you know, I'm still figuring out this whole thing myself. Because, again, I got it set up yesterday. But, yeah. This is the January 22nd. We just took a 3K loss. So let's take a look. What's that day? Nothing. Okay. Just a bad loss. Let's look at the following days. Nothing really. So just a regular loss there happens on the 22nd. I'm going to do a news spreadsheet for when and when not to trade coming your way. Coming your way. Check over if you don't mind. Yeah, throw it over. Throw it over if you want. What was that? The 23rd? Nothing really either. We had Richmond Manufacturing Index. So yeah, actually just regular losses past 2 days there. The 24th. So this where we did dip down even more. So we did dip down a little bit. This is a day we ended flat, but we took some more drawdown. That was PMI day. So keep that in mind. So ended flat, but took another 1,500 drawdown or so. This is the 25th, which is unemployment claims day. And it looks like we took 300 bucks there, so risked a lot for unemployment claims, you know. Because showing the past results, it doesn't work too well on unemployment claims day. Yeah, it's not a strategy, so you actually can't do strategy performance and stuff. Wow, the market is dumping. Dumping. Look at this. Look at this chart right now, guys. There's actually a unicorn on the 1 minute up here. This would have been a nice entry. High, low, higher, high, lower, low. Breaker block here for value gap entry. Right here. Stop at the high. Targeting lows. There you go. little bit of profit there. We are on the 29th now, which is a no news Monday, and we made some profit there. Made about a little more than 3K on that day. I believe most of the news events weren't too bad then in January then. Because this is where we end right around 17.3. I think with the news events, some of them are winners, so I think you would have ended probably around 15K. Wow, this dump though on the market. That ES dump. Sheesh, right? You know, if we had the NQ algo on this morning, I bet you it would have been fire. Completely fire. NQ as well, took the low there, 250s. About 150 point drop. So back up to 20K in profit on the 30th. So even more, about 3K profit there. And that was job openings and consumer confidence. But again, those aren't really too big of red folder news. So I wouldn't really worry about those. And then now we're on the 31st, which took 3K of loss. And that, guess what day that was? So 3K of loss on the 31st, which was non-farm employment change, FOMC, Fed fund statement, FOMC statement. Obviously this time that day. So 3K loss that day. So if I remember correctly, we had about 2K of wins on one news day. But the others, I think, wasn't too much to worry about. So I think this is actually fully accurate. So if you take out news days, plus or minus, you'd be right around 15 to 17K of profit in the 3 weeks of January. And that's taking out all news. So, which you'd also avoid some drawdown. There was 6K of drawdown, which was non-news related. But yeah, so right around 15 to 17K, I'd say. Maybe, yeah, around 17K is more accurate for the 3 weeks in January, while taking out the news, right? That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I am going to test November right now as well from last year. And I don't care. If you guys want to leave, you can. I'll just keep it up. But live stream will obviously stay up. Feel free to stay though. So I'm going to test November. I'm just kind of blanking. November was the 12/23 contracts, right? 12/23 contracts. So I believe that was in November. So then we got to download. So very good month, January. If you take out the news days in February, then you're up 10K in February. And we didn't count the first week of January either, because I believe that we rolled. When do you roll? I don't know. It wouldn't let me download the first week of January for some reason, so I just didn't trade it. But up like 27K in 2 months. I'd say it's pretty good. With a 6K drawdown, up 27K profit. I mean, that's not too bad if you really think about it, right? Avoid quad witching. You probably I'd probably be a smart idea. NQ 12/23. Let's download November. Am I blanking? Why won't it let me download November? 12/23. Isn't that the correct month? Is 12/23 for November of last year? Testing March afterwards? I can try and test March right now if you want, sure. Let me see. March, let's test March. Sure. I think I already have that loaded so you can test March. I haven't tested March yet, so. Let's see. March is on, it was March on the 06 contracts. When did March roll? When did we roll to the new contracts? So the 15th is when, so the first 2 weeks of March were on the old contracts, on the 03/24. Oh, hold on. You have to make sure this is right. That's why I'm trying to really think. If it's not right, it's gonna be very, very inaccurate. Hold on, I'm gonna download the first 2 weeks of March right now. Because we rolled on the 15th. Or we rolled on the 11th, expiration was 15th. So we'll do, just gotta make sure we're doing it right. So we'll switch over on the 11th, or we'll switch over on the 15th. Just downloading the data right now. It's a blank screen, so you know, everyone will probably get bored and leave, but that's okay. The loyal people will stay. Hopefully. Would have been nice to catch a trade on that giant dump this morning, but it moved too fast to even do anything, so. Moves way too fast to even do anything with it, so. Alright, so should be good. We have the first 2 weeks, the 3rd to the 14th on the 03, and then we have the 17th to, yeah, we're good. Okay. Playback, connect. We'll do 03. I think this is right, so. I believe this is right. So should be good. We got to change this to March. Okay, we're gonna end on March 16th there. And we're gonna start March 4th. And we're gonna arm long, arm short, arm continuous, and max that. We'll see. I haven't tested March, so I have no idea how it'll be. Could be the worst thing ever. So March 5th, we're down 3K. So what was March 5th? Let's see. March 5th was PMI. I probably wouldn't arm on PMI. That's what I said a little while ago. PMI, CPI, FOMC, NFP, bank holidays. So wouldn't count that. So let me write down all the things I wouldn't count. So minus 3K, just gonna type it on Google. Once these 2 weeks are over, then we're gonna switch to the other contracts for the other 2 weeks. So yeah, just write it down, PMI, CPI, FOMC, bank holidays, NFP. Those are the main ones. Consumer sentiment is also pretty big. This day is actually NFP, Fed Chair Powell testifying, and job openings. So we've got about $1,000 in profit. So, you know, I wouldn't count that. We're still down 3K, I would say. Some no trade days, but NFP on Wednesdays, like that's not huge. It's when NFP is on Friday. So basically this ADP non-farm employment change is still pretty big, but it's not huge, so you maybe could run that on this day. But it's that coming Friday. So this Friday when it says non-farm employment change, that's when you don't want to arm. So right now, probably wouldn't have traded this day for PMI, or I don't know if I would have traded PMI or not. PMI is not huge, so not sure. This probably could have been traded, so that's like 1,500 profit. Unemployment claims on the 7th, which actually was some profit. So it's gonna go back and forth. It really is gonna go back and forth, but and you know what, it would perform even better once you add the news ATM. You could probably run it on some of these days. This is just base. This is a base, right? And I have the base setting on at 5, and I said 18 is what you want to put it at for running through news or running at news. So this should only be better if you're running through this, right? But this coming on Friday here, I definitely wouldn't arm. If there's any day I wouldn't arm this whole week. You know, unemployment claims is big, but you know, unemployment claims is big. The ADP non-farm is still pretty big. PMI is not actually that big. But on this Friday here, I probably wouldn't arm. But it looks like it's performed good on that day. So it's gonna go back and forth, I guess. It really is. I guess that's why we're testing, right? So actually made like $2.5 grand on the non-farm employment change day. I guess what you want to do with the news is just really watch and see if you think it's going to be choppy, right? So take your knowledge of trading and decide if it's going to be choppy, right? So if we're looking at a, you know, an ICT concept model, I would say, you know, are we in a range? Did we just take the objective for the day? Are we, you know, planning on, do you think we're going to dump? Do you think we're going to probably stay in the range? If you think you're going to stay in the range, then you don't arm. Killer day on regular MNQ, by the way. Oh, I bet. How much you up, Neil? How much you up? Because this looks just crazy. I mean, down 240 points from the high. That's when the NQ bot's gonna go crazy, right? And same thing with ES bot. ES is down 65 points, which is huge as well. So I mean, that's big. That's very big. I would say we're probably going to be reaching for these lows at this point. Probably going to be reaching for these lows. And we might have a hourly unicorn set up as well. Got a breaker block forming, so as soon as we get this could be a swing. Fair value gap in here, I would look for something like this. Anyway, forget that. All right, so up $4,700 A lot of that profit was during some sketchy news events. So I would keep that in mind, but you know, that's why we're testing. $250 across 7 accounts. That's good. Are you on PAs, Neil? Or are you on you're on 7 evals? Also, Neil, how do you think the 322 is working? I think I asked you earlier. Like, is the 322 working good? Have you been in a lot of drawdown with the 322? What's your take on it? Quite a few no trade days going on here as well. Wanted to point that out. But we may have had to roll the contracts. I don't really, I don't know, to be honest with you. It said you could roll here and they expire here, so maybe we run this week. So we'll say 4K there. Let's run these. Let's run these from here to the end of the month, and let's see. Working well. Good. That's good. All right, so we changed the contracts. See if they roll. The roll would change, because I think it said those other contracts expire. So I wouldn't probably count. I would probably just start the next week just to be safe, because I wouldn't roll immediately. So let's just fast forward to the next week. Oop. Okay. Yeah, you don't usually want to roll right when NinjaTrader tells you to roll. Just kind of a heads up for future, right? Decided on if it's a bad month, wouldn't kill account on 50K, but still pass near the time. Good. I mean, the 322 is really only, like the multiplier is really only there for if you lose a lot, right? If you lose, it's going to keep multiplying. But the goal would be not to lose anyway, right? So March 19th, 3K in profit. There was no news that day. Was a bit of drawdown though. And again, just keep in mind, you probably don't want to roll right when NinjaTrader recommends it. You'd usually want to wait a few days to the end of the week to roll. Let's see, the 20th we had FOMC, and we ended with about $2 grand profit, 1,500. So looks like it's really hit or miss, right? I think you're taking a lot more risk by trading the news days, unless you maybe our dev BB3CS has found a magical cure with the ATM news strategy that he's incorporating into this. Which I'm not running, obviously, but could be better, right? To run with news. So let's see, the 21st, what do we have? Unemployment claims. So we were 3K profit, and then we just took a 3K loss. So I'll break even on the day, which would have just caused you 3K drawdown, to be fair. So there you go. Probably, yeah. Unemployment claims seems to be pretty steadily losing, to be honest with you. FOMC, we've had some hit or miss. NFP had some hit or miss, but unemployment claims seems to be consistently not too good. Avoid a lot of news, yeah. No trade days. What's this day? 25th. We just took a loss. Pretty big. Monday, nothing really. It's a regular loss. New home sales, but all right, I'll pull up a trade performance soon, once this is over. What is this day right here? 27th. FOMC speaker later in the day. That's debatable, but got one more day, I think. Yeah, okay. So that was it there. Ended, there's the trade performance. 1900 down. The long trades worked quite a bit better than the shorts. 92% win rate on the longs. 42% win rate on the shorts. That's pretty interesting. Only 3 losing trades on the longs, 28 on the shorts, but pretty sure that counts like individual ATM like contracts. So average trade time 5 minutes. Profit per month 26 minus 32. That's just estimated. So interesting. If you just played it back and went only longs, you'd be up pretty good, huh? Well, I might do that just to test it. So if you have a feeling of what direction the market could go, I guess you could get fancy with it, huh? Guess you could get fancy with it. It's good to know, actually. So that is something to be good. Because like on a day like today, for example, or overnight, if you think there's something, a direction that's going to be chosen, then like if we have equal highs, basically like right here, right? Then you could probably suspect that we would probably push towards these highs, so you could arm only long overnight. Maybe you get some nice longs, or you could look at daily bias actually. So like here we had a bullish for value gap, which we wrecked right through. So when we pull back into it, we could probably suspect, you know, since we broke through the bullish for value gap, we'd move down. You could maybe arm only shorts, might be higher probability. Right here, we jump down, respecting and wicking out of this bullish for value gap, so you could expect we go up. So maybe you only arm longs overnight, you know, stuff like that. You just take daily bias, maybe make it more advanced. That's why I guess I want a bunch of noobs, huh? Well, guys, I think we're gonna hop out, shut down the live for the day. Had some good tests. It was fun. So January profitable about 17K over 3 weeks. February, if you take out the news, about 10K profit in February. March was about maybe 5K down, unless I tested something wrong. So still up very, very good. But pretty good tests. So I'm gonna head out though.